All right, this is the Chapter 7 test corrections and solutions. This was taken on May 20th, 2015. Question number 1, triangle XYZ with vertices 5, 4, 3, -1, and 0, 2 is translated so that x prime is at 3, 1. State the coordinates of y prime and z prime. So if you go ahead and label all of your points there, just graph it. I recognize that they want to know what x prime is, or x prime was moved. So x was here at the coordinates 5, 4, right 5, up 4, and then it's moved to 3, 1. So I drew in here in blue that you're just going down 3, left 2, which means I'm going to apply that to every point. Down 3, left 2. Down 3, left 2. That'll give me the coordinates for y prime to be 1 to -4, and z prime to be left 2, -2, -1. And that would be choice C. 2 points apiece for multiple choice. Question number 2, which figure here represents a reflection of figure 3? Well, if you look at figure 3, reflections just means to turn over, right? So it's not going to be up here in quadrant 2. That would be a reflection over the y-axis, which would be 5. Letter choice D. Question number 3. The vertices of the triangle P, Q, and R are given. Name the vertices of the image reflected in the x-axis. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to graph or label all 3 of those points. Here they are. There's P, Q, and R. And it tells me to reflect it over the x-axis, so I highlighted that in blue. And all you're going to do there is just you're going to count towards that blue line. For example, look at Q. Q has the coordinates -8, so left 8, down -7. So I'm just going to count there. So that is 7 going to that blue line, which means you count 7 past it. That means Q prime will give you the coordinates 8, 7. And if you look at your multiple choice, the only one that has Q prime to be 8, 7 is letter choice C. So notice how I didn't actually have to graph all of the vertices, but you can double check that. Question?
Wouldn't it be -8, 7?
Oh, that is right. My mistake. So -8, 7. So that would be letter choice A. I'll be collecting your test afterwards. I value integrity above all, so using your eraser at that time would be not showing character. Number 4. Use the graph to answer the question. Which pair of transformation moves quadrilateral 1 to quadrilateral 2? If you recognize the shape right now, you'll recognize that you're going to have to do multiple transformations, which are called composition transformations. Originally, I picked B, and let me tell you my thinking, and I'll explain why it's wrong. If you reflect it over the x-axis, so I thought if you can go that way, and then if you rotate it 180 degrees, it doesn't say anything, so that means it's clockwise. Default is clockwise, so it doesn't tell you, just think clockwise. I thought it would look like that, but then I realized that the transformation would look something like this if I rotated it, and it doesn't look like a number 2. The correct answer is A. You reflect it over the line y equals -3. So here is the line y equals -3. Remember, if you forget that, you can just graph in a table of values, all your y values are -3, and then you just make up x coordinates. So basically it's just going to switch your picture. It's probably going to look something like that. And then it says rotate it counterclockwise. Remember, counterclockwise is going in this direction now. So if you took this figure and rotated it, this corner here would go up to here, and that's why the letter choice A is correct. Question number 5. Use the graph below to answer the question. So you have a quadrilateral P, Q, R, and S. P, Q, R, and S will be rotated 90 degrees clockwise about the origin, so you're rotating around this point, resulting in quadrilateral P prime, Q prime, R prime, and S prime. So I went ahead and drew a figure. And you'll recognize with rotations that the angles stay the same. So it's a congruent quadrilateral. It doesn't get smaller nor bigger. With that being the case, RS will be parallel to R prime, S prime. So this will be parallel to this. That would be incorrect. That would be probably intersecting lines. That's why I put an X. Look at choice C. The measure of angle P will be 80 degrees. Well, P remains the same. It should stay 60 degrees, not 80. That's why I crossed it off. Now in this question, the correct answer is D, but I'm willing to accept both B and D. Let me explain why B is not the most accurate answer, but why I'm accepting it. SP will be parallel to R prime, S prime. So SP is here. It looks like a vertical line. And RS is over here, and that also looks like a parallel line. The reason why it's not the most accurate answer, you'll recognize that RS here is not actually a straight line. What that means is when I rotate it 90 degrees, it should probably look something like this, which means that SP is not parallel to RS. They would eventually intersect maybe down here. The correct answer is D. The measure of Q will be 80 degrees. Even though you rotate it, the degrees will stay the same. So if you selected B or D, you were correct. Question number 6. The diagram below represents what type of transformation? This is a reflection. Someone said reflection over the y-axis is fine. Just you know it's reflection. Remember, you're going from A, B, C, D to the primes, right? A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. Question number 8. Triangle JKL has vertices 2, 4, 3, 1, and 3, 3. Translation maps the point J to J prime at 3, 3. What are the coordinates of K prime? So this is a really small triangle. So the original problem says J is at 2, 4. So there's my graph, right? 2, then up 4. But then it says it's moved to 3, 3, which basically means it's just going down 1, right 1. Now they just want to know the coordinates of K prime. So I just go from K to K prime, just go down 1, right 1. And then my coordinates would be 4, 0. 4, 0 is letter choice J. Question number 9. Which is the image of a figure shown after a 90 degrees clockwise rotation? So clockwise meaning you can just look at a clock, it's going towards the right. If you can imagine that point right there is going to go up and it will be up to the top. And that black square will be in the bottom left, and that is letter choice C. Question number 10. Which of the following describes the movement of a figure that is translated according to the rule below? X comma y to x minus 7, y plus 1. Well, the x coordinates on a coordinate plane go left and right. So minus 7 goes left 7 units. And the y coordinate, a positive one, y goes either up or down. Well, plus 1 means going up. That's the reason why the answer is choice G. Question number 11. Zoom out. Which congruence transformation does not map ABC? So that's your starting point, and your end point is DEF. Look at H. So we're going from ABC to DEF. If I reflect it over the x-axis, it's going to look something like that, right? And then if I reflect it over the y-axis, It'll be on top of, so that would be DFE. That would be correct. So yes, that would, this would transform it, and congruence just means it doesn't change the size, the angles, or the sides. So that one works, but we're looking for the word not, or no, it does not work. Look at letter choice I. Essentially does the same thing, reflected over the y-axis first, so it looks like that. And then reflected over the x-axis, and goes there. Look at letter choice F. Rotation of 180 degrees around point O, or the origin. So if you did 90 degrees, it would probably look something like, I don't know, something like this. And then rotate it another 90 degrees, and it'll end up like that. Letter choice G does not map it, because if you translate it, this means 0 on the x-axis, this means positive 6 on the y-axis. You're essentially taking that triangle ABC, and now it's like way up here. And then you reflect it over the y-axis, and it'll still be something like way over here. Okay. All right, the backside. Use the diagram below to answer questions 12 and 13. So for number 12, name the coordinates of M prime after a clockwise rotation of 270 degrees. So I taught you guys a trick. 270 degrees is using this trick 3 times. So I haven't moved it, so that's 0 degrees. I'm looking for the coordinates of M. M is -1, 3. So if I'm rotating it 90 degrees, he's not here, and that's 4th period. Thanks. So -1, 3 for 90 degrees. So this trick works for every 90 degrees. You take your x value, you change the sign, so this is negative, so that becomes a positive, and then you switch places. Do it another 90 degrees. So we're at 90, now we're going to 180. Change the sign of 3, that becomes -3, and switch places. To do it one more time, you take 1, that becomes -1, and now you switch places. -3, -1 is your answer for M prime. Each of the blanks I gave you 2 points, and I was kind because if you got both of those wrong, I gave you 1 point for trying. Question number 13. Name the coordinates of P prime after a counter clockwise rotation of 270 degrees about the origin. So I gave you this equation that could help you figure it out. Clockwise plus counterclockwise equals 360 degrees. So if you get counterclockwise, I put 270 here. Well, blank plus 270 equals 360, which means essentially you're doing a clockwise rotation of 90 degrees, which means you just do that trick once. P has the coordinates of 7, 2. Should be 2 right there. So I'm just going to change the sign of +7, that becomes -7, and then you switch places. Your answer is 2, -7. Question number 14. The parallelogram math is reflected over the line x equals -2. On the graph paper provided below, graph and labeled the pre-image and the image. So we had a correction. Make sure you know that t is 2, -1. So you take these 4 order pairs, go ahead and graph them. Here they are. Okay. The next thing I need to do is I need to reflect it over x equals -2. Remember, just make a table of values, and all your x values are going to be -2. You don't have any y values, so make them up. When you graph this table, you get the blue line here where x is -2. Then you're just counting. For m to become m prime, I'm going to count towards the line, so count 2, then 2 afterwards. That'll give me the order pair 0, 3. A, count towards it, that's 2, so 2 more, that's the order pair 0, -1. A prime is 0, -1. T prime is from T. Now I'm counting towards that blue line, so I'm counting 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the order pair -6, -1. And H is counting towards the blue line, so I count 4. 4 past it. This will give me the order pair -6, 3. You had to get both coordinates correct in order to get 1 point. So that problem's worth 4 points. Question number 15. Brooklyn drew a quadrilateral on the grid. There it is. She reflected the quadrilateral over the line y equals -2. There it is in blue. And then translated it left 4 units. What are the coordinates of m prime? So I'm only focusing on m. So I count towards the blue line, so 3 down to the blue line, 3 more down, and I get the order pair 2, -5. If you left it as 2, -5, I gave you 3 points. Now it says, then translated it left 4 units. If I go left 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the coordinates -2, -5. So I gave you 4 points for the correct answer, and if you were wrong, then I give you 1 point for trying. Question number 16, name the coordinates of the vertices of the image after the following translation. So I took the coordinates here. A is -2, 0. B is left 3, up 2. C is left 2, up 4. And D is left 1, up 2. Then it says for your x values, move it to the right 5 units, or just add 5. And to the y units, or y coordinates, subtract 7, or move the whole thing down 7. And when you do that, you get these order pairs.